want to talk about why is it that schools fail to teach our children, they fail to teach us when we're in, elementary, junior high, high school, college, university, master's degree, PhDs. How many of them have, any type of finance background? Is there personal finance classes? Are there business finance classes? Is there a class about credit and how to manage credit? And it's such an important factor in affecting all areas of financial health in your life, your future relationships, your family, your potential children down the road. And yet it's not taught in school. How is this possible? Why is it still not taught in school? Who knows? But let's think about why this could be.
One thought that initially comes to my mind on this is the government handcuffs. Truth be told, when we look at the public school systems, there are so many checks and balances that have to be gone through to get new curriculum implemented. The credit system is always changing. So maybe they're looking at it like, hey, the credit system right now is going to be entirely different algorithms, different scores. Then it's going to be different today than it will be 1 year from right now. And because it takes so damn long to get new curriculum into the system, they just thought, you know what, leave that on the parents. Let's have them figure that out on their own. I don't know. But that's one BS excuse or thought that maybe comes to my mind. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's definitely one idea. The other idea that comes to my mind is a lot of our, a lot of the educational professionals in this country really do care, and they want the kids to succeed. They want them to, become successful in their lives. And I think we can all think back to someone who made a massive difference in our life in the education system. I think of my high school teacher, Mrs. Ayer, who was a wonderful teacher. Talked to my mom, forced me to get into debate and to take AP English, but I really learned how to write and how to present, and it's paid massive dividends, especially in public speaking that we have to do to build our business and to get the word out about what we do here at Seven Figures Funding. And so I certainly see the value in that, but the bottom line issue is most of our educational government professionals, they haven't been able to get their money right. They haven't been taught about financial and wealth building strategies and tools and the importance of credit. And unfortunately, I think because of that fact, it's impossible for you to teach me. It's almost like the blind leading the blind, right? We have, parents in this country and they don't understand wealth and credit, and they're teaching misinformation or things they don't quite understand with their own limiting beliefs to their children, and then their children pass that on, and it just goes on forever. And the same thing happens in the education system. If I haven't actually built that business, if I haven't actually created wealth, if I don't have really strong credit and learned the difference between good debt and bad debt, it's impossible for me to teach you what you should be doing when I'm not doing it myself. And that's why it takes someone who maybe is that successful, who gets into government, who says, we've got to have some education programs in this country that teach kids about how to manage credit, about how to manage debt, about how to build credit, about how to make smart investments, about how to build for the future, and most importantly, how to understand when you should take on debt or not. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of kids make nowadays and their parents is, we're going to send you to that $20,000 a year college education, and you're going to go get a degree in fine arts about French literature from the 1800s, and that's not going to translate into a job that's going to pay your bills. It's not going to pay the $80,000 student loan back that you took out for it, and you're not going to be able to have a lot of success unless you make some major transitions and go into a different field to earn a better living. And that's one of the big issues. And so it becomes this thing that is generational, and it passed on from educational professionals, and it just never seems to make any progress. And so whatever the case is, the bottom line is, what are we going to do about it? And that's, I think, what this show's all about.
Yeah, exactly. It has me thinking, Leo. In 2010, I took a financial literacy course, and I still remember vividly from that course. Maybe they briefly mentioned credit, but what I remember vividly is there was an entire section on how to write checks and how to balance a checkbook and how to create a general ledger and how to handwrite a profit and loss and how to handwrite a balance sheet. And this is 2010. We were already past it then.
Yeah, we were.
Well past it then. But why aren't they teaching in financial literacy how to set up a QuickBooks account? I know they have QuickBooks courses, but that should be something that's mandatory to go in and learn how to do this electronically or digitally now, to learn how to go look at a bank statement online and look at key things there. Right. I've probably written maybe a dozen checks in my entire life. Yeah, I spent a whole section of that course learning about checks and balancing checkbooks. Like, that's just crazy.
It is crazy. And one of the things that just came to my mind is, okay, so why are schools and the government not putting the proper curriculum to teach our children about credit and money and finances? And now I'm starting to realize, wait a second, over the last 20, 25, 30 years, our government actually spends more than it takes in. And so now it's starting to, hit me dead on, oh, that's why, because from the very top down in this country, we're making shitty decisions and spending way more money than we actually bring in as a government. So of course, that's what's being taught to our youth. And a lot of them are out there overspending, taking on student loans and car loans and things that they cannot afford. They're not saving to invest. They just talk about saving to save, and they never make financial progress because as a country, our leaders don't make the tough decisions. And a lot of it comes down to delayed gratification, right? When was the last time, and we've talked about this, that a presidential candidate, came out and said, you know what, guys, for the next 8 years, guys and gals, we are going to have to, tighten the belt. We're going to have to not spend some money here. We're going to have to save more money. We've got to pay our debts down. We're up to $30 trillion in debts, guys, because we have a $3 or $4 trillion a year budget, and we spend $5 or $6 trillion. So we keep on going in the negative. And that is one of the common factors that because we don't actually practice it as a country, why would we teach it as a country? And clearly we don't.
Exactly right. We're inheriting exactly what our government is putting out there. It's just like our parents to the children.
I mean, think if we ran our business like that, like, oh yeah, we've got a $5 million a year business or a $10 million a year business, but we actually have expenses of $12 million. So we're losing $2 million a year. That's not even sustainable at all. And so now you have a reckoning too. The same thing has happened in the tech sector, right? All these tech companies for years were bleeding money, and the idea was, hey, just take more market share, increase the top line revenue, and you're going to win. And over the last year, we found out, well, actually, the market's kind of had it with that. They're not going to keep on putting money in Wall Street stocks in companies that are losing money. You're actually going to have to, make a profit, and that's what it comes down to as a family. Like, you have to make a profit. You have to spend more than you make, and obviously you need to focus on increasing the income, but you can't spend more than you make. And if you can go through that sacrifice and delay your gratification and learn the skills to increase your income and then keep the expenses low, that's the whole purpose of financial success and credit success.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just not being taught, and that's, like we keep reiterating and keep saying, it's on us. It's on you. It's on you as a father. It's on you as a mother to figure this out for yourself so that you can then pass it on to your children.
Exactly right, guys. So it's on us to teach others about credit. That's we're going to be giving out the Credit College module for free here at the end of this show so that you can share that, so that you can go through